So as you all know, I am in Korea right now. It's 9 a.m. So, forgive me if I look a little tired. And I know it's 8 p.m. for you. So some of you are in the Sabbath right now. So happy Sabbath. And thank you for joining us tonight. So I guess a little bit about me before Judy comes back. Okay. Wait, Judy said it? Okay. Judy's coming back. Okay. I'm an English teacher in Korea, in case you're wondering what I'm doing in Korea. Some people are asking questions.
Oh, already? That's nice. Hi, everybody.
Oh. The commentary.
Yes. So I guess we could start off with a word of prayer, and then we can go right into it. And I know you have the agenda and everything. All right. So would you like to pray?
Sure. All right. We'll bow our heads and close our eyes. We're going to say our opening prayer. Our Father in heaven, we want to thank you for everything that you have done for us. Thank you for the opportunity to gather together online, Father God, in the midst of everything. Oh Lord, I pray that you will guide this discussion, that it be helpful, informative, and entertaining, oh Lord, to the people watching, oh Lord. We ask that you be with us and guide us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So, Naomi, you are in South Korea right now. So tell everybody, what time is it in South Korea right now?
So I had told them a few minutes ago, so right now it's 9 a.m. and it's quite early, but...
Yes. But what I like about it is that, so it's like 8 o'clock at night here, and it's dark. But it's Sabbath for me, and it's Sabbath for you. So it's like, the best of both, Right. So I'm experiencing the Sabbath, and so are you.
Yeah, it's an hour difference.
Yeah, 13 hours for those who didn't know. So that means you're not going to church today.
Nope.
You're not going to church.
Nope.
So, how long have you not been going to church?
So I haven't been going to church for about a month or 4 weeks now. Mainly because the first 2 weeks I recently traveled. As some of you who follow me may know, I traveled to Australia and New Zealand. And if you travel in country, they prefer that you quarantine for 2 weeks or 14 days. So I just decided I wasn't going to go to church because my church has a lot of elderly people in their 90s. Like, they're so fabulous in their 90s. And I was in jeopardy, so I just didn't go to church. Recently, I think about 3 weeks ago, my church had canceled all services. So, yeah.
Okay, wow. So that means that for South Korea, this has been going on for a while, because in New York, we've only recently had, all the churches shut down. It was announced this week. Last week, Saturday, some churches decided to close. Some churches were open, so it was kind of optional depending on the pastor and how they felt. Right. But officially, from the conference, the Northeastern Conference, from even higher, North American Division, it's officially been announced that all churches has to shut down. So this is only recent for us, and so now people are like, what are we gonna do? Those churches who are already doing live streaming, of course, they're gonna continue that. They've already had the equipment and to do everything, but the churches who haven't been technologically, literate, right now they're scrambling, maybe doing conference calls, So that's what's really happening here. It's I feel like when it comes to religion and this crisis, it's really conflicting. People are not sure how to bridge public health, this concern, but also their faith and their religion.
So somebody wrote, yet the state, Juan wrote, yet the state just decided to keep liquor stores open.
I mean, hey, people need a way to deal with the crisis, you know? It's crazy. It's really crazy.
So for you in America right now, when do you think, I guess, the government started taking things seriously? Like, when do you think, and how did it affect people?
I feel like we started taking things seriously probably around last week, Sunday.
Okay.
So I was still at work last Friday, right? And I remember my principal Friday afternoon, so this is last week Friday, he gathered everyone together, all of the staff members. Hey, look, hey. I need to stop doing this. Like, stop saying hi to people in the middle of my sentences. But, so he gathered everyone together, and he said, you know, I'm not sure if we're going to be coming into work on Monday. There's a possibility that we may be here and we may not be here. But he told us, in any, you know, just in case, take all of your papers, take all of your folders, take everything that you need with you in order to grade, because we're not sure if we're going to be back here on Monday. And lo and behold, on Sunday night, literally Sunday night around 5 o'clock, that's when Mayor de Blasio said, okay, NYC public schools are going to be closed, shut down. Students, teachers, everyone, don't come to school on Monday. So I think New York City, we were like hesitant to make any big decisions. But yeah, people started taking it seriously last weekend, because I remember even Friday morning, that's when I heard that Broadway had shut down. You know, like movies were still open. I think movie theaters shut down around Tuesday of this week.
Right.
So it's really been like about a week of people taking this seriously. But I'll tell you what, I've been grocery shopping. I've been going to the bank. I've been, you know, out on the streets, and it's not ghost town as people are making it out to seem. Like, people are still living their lives, and people are still walking around. Some people are taking it seriously, and some people are like, you know, let me be free. Yeah.
So for us, it's not really so I guess, thank you for sharing your perspective, Judy. On my end, it's funny that we're both teachers.
Yes.
And as you all know, I'm an English teacher, teaching and right now, so I would say we really started hearing a lot of news somewhere. You started hearing things like late January, but because I was worried about my trip, because I was working like most of February, and you started hearing certain things. So when I was traveling early February to Australia and New Zealand, I had a mask ready, you know, to be on the airplanes. I had ready with the wipes to wipe certain air. So there were already people concerned, and even back in late January, they were telling people who traveled to China, people who traveled to Japan, that they might be quarantined for 14. They have to quarantine for 14 days when they come back to South Korea.
And this was early February, you would say?
This is like late January, early February.
Yeah.
So even like during all of February, you know, in Australia and New Zealand, people weren't really wearing masks. That's not really a thing there. So I didn't wear it at all. But coming back, leaving all flights, I think I was definitely wearing my mask. So in case, you know, something like this, you know, you just have and hand sanitizer and things like that, wipe, you know, hand like that.
People are wearing that here now. Like, people are walking around in New York City, in Brooklyn, with their masks on. Not everyone, I know that in China, I heard that everyone is required to wear a mask if you go outside, but here it still seems like it's optional. Like some people are walking around with the mask, and some people aren't. So it's not like you have to.
So here in Korea, I think you might find a few people who may not wear a mask. Like for me, when I take walks after work, I don't wear a mask because I need fresh air because I wear it all day at work. So when I go into work. So what they did with the teachers is that, because school, I'm all over the place, but school, the new school year was supposed to start March 2nd.
Okay.
School is starting April 6th.
Wow.
So school has been delayed a whole month because of this coronavirus. And so what the government has done is, first, there's just a lot of notifications everywhere. So in terms of posters, you see hand sanitizers everywhere. Like one that you just squirt like this.
Wow.
Office, at the ATMs, like inside the banks, you'll see like hand sanitizers everywhere.
Yeah.
And you have to wear a mask everywhere too, especially when you go into a store, you're interacting with people, you definitely gotta have your mask on. What else? And I think things are being handled a little differently. So when the big outbreak started happening, the government also sends, like you see the Amber Alerts you get on your phone?
Yeah, on your phone, yeah.
So we get something like that on our phones that kind of notifies us of any public service announcements.
Mm-hmm.
It notifies us if somebody in our region or town is newly affected. So if you have like a newly affected person with the virus, you'll know that they're around where you live.
Yeah. It's kind of like the citizenship app, the Citizen app. I think there's an app that tells you like if there has been a crime in your neighborhood, like so you can see like anything like happen in a robbery or rape or anything, and you get notified on the app. So yeah,
right. It tracks those people. It tracks their whereabouts and things like that. So it's very helpful. It could be a little stressful as well. Like you can feel like a bit distressed hearing, oh my God, there's been 200 new cases here, 200 new cases there. Yeah. But at the same time, it's informing you so you know not to go there. Maybe go a different way.
Right.
So yeah, things have changed a lot here.
So I was actually reading. So I get like the New York Times. I'm a New York Times subscriber, right? And I get like the paper delivered to my door like every day. So it's it's like this thing that I don't know. I just like to read the newspaper like in its physical form. So I was actually reading the newspaper, and it was actually saying, this is today's paper, right? And it was talking about how like now that China, like cases in China are starting to like slow. So the cases are starting to go down. They haven't had any new reported cases, and it was actually saying how the West, like America now, we're the ones like, our cases are on the rise, and China is looking at us, and other Asian countries are looking at us like, you guys are doing something wrong. So I was reading where it was actually praising South Korea, and I'm gonna read it, and I want to know if you like agree with this statement. So it was saying how South Korea, a vibrant capitalist democracy along with Taiwan and Singapore, has managed the virus with transparency, efficiency, and solidarity while preserving freedom of movement. Part of what has set some Asian countries apart is experience, said Lee Gan-yu, a historian at Korea University. From the outset of the epidemic, South Koreans took the situation very seriously, perhaps because of their previous experience with SARS and MERS. She said, wearing masks, washing our hands, social distancing, these were all familiar actions. In contrast, right, the United States and Europe have been more hesitant. So I want to know, like, if you agree with that, like, Do you feel like South Korea, handled it the way they said, like with efficiency and being transparent, like, but still, like, you felt like you had freedom throughout all of this?
I would agree, possibly 100%. In terms of the freedom of movement, so we don't have any lockdown. So I can still travel to another city right now by bus. But best believe, when you get to the bus station, there'll be some signs. There'll be a hand sanitizer area. So we do have freedom of movement. They do. The only thing that they ask for people to do is quarantine and definitely not gather in huge gatherings, because that has been the cause of, I think, at least 2 large cluster outbreaks. And unfortunately, they happen in 2 churches.
Wow.
Churches that everyone was told, early on, maybe early March, maybe last week of February, first week of March, no large gatherings. But still, there were people who came together, and apparently it's at one church, they sit shoulder to shoulder on the floor. One lady came, infected hundreds of people in the church.
Wow. That's crazy. But do you feel like, because I feel like for some reason, like, here in New York or just in America in general, there's like this.
Wait, I'm trying to read it. Oh, my sister said things are being handled differently. For sure. Yeah, but for sure. Judy, really quickly, you had mentioned that South Korea and some of the other Asian countries, they have prior experience, and I think that's the difference, because I think they probably experienced more respiratory or airborne diseases. Yes. We were not trying, because the MERS, I heard in 2015 when MERS came out, when that happened, they had a higher death rate. So
in South Korea?
Yeah. They were definitely not trying to have the same situation happening.
Right. So, but I mean, like, for some reason, I feel like here there's like this sense of panic, like this sense of urgency. Like every time you hear Mayor De Blasio or Cuomo speaking, like they're like fighting over should there be a shelter in, should there not be, and it's just like, did you feel that same sense of panic like throughout like the month of February? Like, since you said it started around late January, early February, like, did you feel that?
So, I mean, I wasn't really keeping up with the news as much as I should have. I was getting...
It's okay. We probably shouldn't be watching too much news at this point, honestly. Like, we really shouldn't.
But, so, I have, like, a network of people, of other teachers in Korea who are constantly updating, especially us living in this town. So, where I live, it's a small town in the mountains, in the boondocks, where there's only about, I think, a population of 40,000, a little over 40,000. So it's populated here. So even before the virus, I could walk outside and, like, probably 2 people in the area walking. There's never a lot of people, but I think that there wasn't a lot of fear, because I feel like they were trying to do efforts that would inform people, as in the on your phone, the number, in case they have a number for you to call if you it's tested. There's so you can get tested for coronavirus. So I feel like I was more so getting a little stressed when the numbers kept rising. Every time the numbers kept rising, and people were notifying me, and I'm just like, and then there was a case in the city, 40 minutes away, like, oh my God, and everyone talks about all day, so
all day.
That kind of causes a little bit of fear, but I think that people just I think people still feel in a way a bit more informed and empowered, and feel like they could do something as opposed to
I feel like knowing can be a good and bad. Like staying informed, of course, is important. Yeah. Okay? So Donna says social media put more fear in people than the news. I don't know. I feel like social media has been making fun of the situation. Like, so many times I'm scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, and I have to like put my phone down because these posts, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm so done. Like, I think I saw this post. Oh God, it's gonna be so inappropriate. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's Sabbath, but I'm sure you can agree. Like the post on, it's been so crazy. Like especially with the homeschooling, making fun of parents who now are. Oh, now you're gonna see what the teacher was talking about. And just making fun of the whole experience. And I'm just like, I guess humor is an outlet. But it's just like, I feel like social media has been, making it funny, or maybe too funny, whereas the news is like you said, like every time you hear about the number of cases going up and some new thing being shut down, some new business being shut down, and some new place that you can't go to anymore. And like, social media has been funny. And also like businesses, like, because restaurants now have to be shut down, but in the beginning of the week, like if they found a restaurant that chose to stay open, like there's like this $10,000 fine for staying open. So it's just like, yeah, it's been so crazy, so crazy.
I think also another thing is like, so in New York City, I'm not sure what the population is. I think it might be, 5
millions of people.
I'm not sure.
New York City has millions of residents.
So from what I'm reading, yeah, you do need some humor.
The edge off.
I think in some country there's a sense of like, this is legit happening. Versus like, it's like some people believe it's a hoax, and I asked you about that. Some people don't believe it's like a conspiracy theory. But here, I feel like people just see it for what it is because they've experienced in the past. It's like,
exactly,
we got this virus. What are we gonna do to make sure it doesn't spread? Stay home, and just practice social distancing. And you go out, you go grocery shopping, you get fresh air, which is good for your health. And that's what we've been doing for I would say the last months now. And apparently our numbers are going down, but that's also because Korea has built this network of places that people could get tested. So they test and they check the results of like thousands of people a day. So that's a big difference.
And that's part of it too. So like in the US, like we were late with getting adequate number of tests, right? So I remember reading somewhere where it says part of the reason that the cases might be going up is because more people are getting tested. So like the numbers are going up, but that means that more tests are being made available. So it's kind of like a good thing, right? Because if you know, then you can self-quarantine and, protect other people. So, but you mentioned that, like, you're back at work, right? So you said that school is starting April 6th for the kids, but you're working. So how are you working? Or, what does your work entail if you're not teaching?
So I guess they call it desk warming, or basically still lesson planning. You just lesson plan at the office. But what they've done is that, so starting the second week of March, you go into work a few days. So not the whole week, but a few days. And one of the things I was mentioning to a few people was that when you come into work, you have to get your temperature. Have like this machine thing that they just kind of put against your to take your temperature. Every time you come into work, they take your temperature.
No! Wow!
You don't have a fever, because if you have if your temperature is like over 99 degrees Fahrenheit, then they tell you to go home and go to the hospital.
Wow!
So, and we wear masks. mask.
And you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so different. That is so. I mean, like say that again.
You have to log your, like, every time you take your temperature, you come into work, you log it, and there's this lady, I think, from the city. I don't know who she is, and I think she comes and checks that log to see
wow.
doing it. Yeah,
they really take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like here it's kind of like optional. Like, I feel like everyone is saying, practice social distancing, carry hand sanitizer, which people are doing. Like, I do see hand sanitizer at the banks, in front of the teller windows. Like, I do see that. But, like, I feel like all of those things are just optional. Like, people are taking it lightly somewhat. But if you are taking it seriously, it's like you're, like, just taking it to the extreme. I don't know if you've heard about, like, people, the toilet paper being out of stock. I'm just like...
Someone please explain the tissue paper, because we have a mask shortage here, and which is understandable. So we have a mask shortage here. But what the government has done, and they had sent a notification on our phones.
Yeah.
Then you're getting a notification on your phone, like, beep, beep, this is what's happening. So they have a system or a way where you can actually come to a convenience store on a certain day, and you can buy 2 masks at a time. Completely. But then you could also buy...
that's true.
I don't think people
I don't know why you're, like, coming in and out. For some reason, you're...
Oh. Is my battery... Oh. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah. It's good now. Sometimes the volume... And then... Yeah.
It's good?
Yes. Yeah.
So there was a mask shortage, but they tried to find a way to make it a bit more organized so that people can come in at a certain time and buy it.
Right.
But because we don't have, like, a lockdown where you can't leave your house at all, I don't think people are scrambling for food. I feel like people are just going as the days go by. People are going grocery shopping all the time. There's still tissue paper. There's a corner where there's all the tissue paper, and it's not disappearing. Because if you need a mask, you need, like, I don't know, some vitamin C, stock up on the health.
Right. I don't know. I just think it's either people are being too relaxed about it, or they're being too extreme about it. And I just feel like you have to be somewhere in the middle. Like, you still practice your social distancing, like, still go to the grocery store. But today I just felt so, like, now that when I'm too close to people, I feel claustrophobic. I don't know, like, now if someone gets too close, I'm just like, which is like, it would have been rude in a normal situation, but I think we are all, like, understanding now, like, 6 feet, don't get too close, so it's been crazy. But so like I said, at my job, we were going in, so this week we came in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah. No, Stefan, you're right. Like, it really is a big deal. And the media did that. Like, the media made it such a huge deal. I'm just like, well, dang. Like, there's nothing else in the news? Like, are you sure there's nothing else? Like, there was on the news about a Florida governor who was caught in a hotel with some gay escorts, but he's married and he has 3 children, and that could have been big news in a normal, time, because he was trying to become. No, I don't think. No, he wasn't the governor yet. He was trying to become a governor, right? So he had his election back in 2018. And he didn't win, but people were so drawn to him because he was black and, he's married, he has 3 kids, he's a family man, and he was so sophisticated, so put together and poised. When he did interviews, he spoke very well. And we were like, oh, wow, what a great example, like, what a great man. And for him to be found in this situation was just like so, dang, it was just so heartbreaking and terrible for his image. Of course, terrible for his family. But I'm just like, none of that was on the news. Like, none of it. If it was, it's probably just in a small section of the newspaper. But I was saying that that at the job, though, we were there for like from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, and starting Monday, New York City teachers will be teaching from home. And so that's kind of like a new thing because, like, unless you're a school that really had technology already, like a lot of schools may not be as prepared tech-wise. So, like, at my school, like, we already had like Google Classroom set up. All the kids have their own email addresses, like their own school email addresses. So they already know how to navigate Google Classroom. So for us, it's going to be kind of easy, but it's still going to be like, wow, so how do you track attendance? It's just a lot of factors. Right. Yeah, so many factors that we haven't thought about. Like, it's just like if you're going to call parents, you can't really call parents because they're at home. Their parents know what they're doing. So, like, if they're not doing their work, their parents know that. So it's gonna be different, but I think it's a new way to look at teaching. I think it's an opportunity, honestly. I think.
What do you think about, I guess, people of faith who are a little concerned or worried about whether this is a hoax, whether this is a conspiracy theory, or just like not being able to go to the physical building of the church? Like, what do you think that could hold them or help them to be a little bit more, I guess, hopeful or, unafraid?
Yeah, I feel like these times come around like maybe every 50, maybe 20 years. Because I remember someone reminded me, like, you remember Y2K, like in 1999 when everyone thought like the new millennium was going to be the end of the world and everyone was preparing and stocking up and like preparing for Jesus to come, and it didn't happen. Now we're in 2020, 20 years later, and the world has made so much progress and we've advanced so much. And I just feel like the church, I feel like sometimes like the world looks at the church and kind of makes fun of it, like we're like a laughing stock. So if we go there, like saying like this is the mark of the beast and Christ is coming back, and then we're gonna look back at this time, and the world again is gonna look at us and mock us. So I don't feel that Christians should go there in their thinking. I don't want to, say that we shouldn't expect Christ to come. We know that He's coming, but we don't know the day or the hour, right? Like there have been epidemics like this throughout history, and we've overcome. We've gone and gone over to the other side. So I feel like Christians should be very careful when they say things like that, because the world is listening and the world is watching us. What we do, I think we should be more, just be more progressive. As far as if you are a church and you haven't had like a live stream, like start getting that ready. If you haven't been up and advanced in your technology, this is the time that you need to work on that and becoming more progressive, involving your young people because they're gonna help you, and just really start doing that. Like this is not the time for us to start telling people to get ready for the end of the world. Like this is the time for us to be smart.
And so when I think of like how my church had handled it, I think even so late. I think the last week of February is when they canceled church, and I think that most churches decided, okay, we have elderly people, we have young people that come in our churches whose health could be compromised or who are vulnerable to get sick, so they cancel services. But even despite the church being, the building being closed and the services being canceled, my pastor and his wife, pastor's wife, they sent out a YouTube. So that first week, they sent a YouTube link of Mark Finley sermon.
Nice.
They sent that to everybody, told them to watch it, and then I think the following week, we usually have a Bible study on Tuesdays, so that changed to us just having it on the Sabbath and that on Saturday for like an hour. And then recently, I think my church, the pastoral staff, they made masks for the members. Like they sold and made these really cute masks for the members and for their small. So they live in a small town, so their community. And
wow.
Yeah, and you can change the filter. They have like some filter you can change mask. And so for me, I really saw that as like, once again, the church is not a building that you come to. It's like it's the people that make the church. And they really took that opportunity to not just show that the members they care. Like just because I don't see you physically doesn't mean we can't be connecting, right? Even though we're still connected, and we're even connected with the community in a way that's meaningful. And I just thought it was so thoughtful. I was like, wow.
Yo, that's evangelism right there. Making masks for the community. Like, if you're watching that, like, if you're watching this, like, I would, like, that's an evangelistic effort right there. Like, giving masks. Because, like I told you earlier, like, there are some people who feel like the masks and the gloves and are optional. Like, I do see people, walking in the streets with masks on, but not a lot. Not a lot. So, is that my friend? That's my coworker. Hi, Laura. Hey, girl. So yeah, I think the church, this again is an opportunity for churches to be of service to the community, like not just because I have seen like flyers for live streams and phone conference calls, but again, that's still serving the members of the church. Like that's, when we talk about the difference between in-reach and outreach, like that's still just serving your congregation, but like things like what you just said, like going out into the community, like, think of some creative ways to do stuff for the non-members, so, yeah. So we titled this, because on our flyer we put like connecting in the midst of social distancing, right? So, all of this is happening, right? People are being told to stay away from the elderly, which basically means if you're living in a multi-generational family, that means staying away from your grandparents, staying away from your older parents, right? Because some people have parents who fit into that age bracket of people being affected. You can't go to the gym anymore. If that was like your social activity, you can't go to, coworkers of mine who enjoy happy hours. I don't do happy hours, but I have coworkers who that's their thing. Yeah. So you can't do that. Yeah. You can't go to the movies. The movies was my thing. Like, yes, I have Netflix, but I actually enjoy going to the movie theaters, like, I really like that. So now that's closed off. People who enjoy Broadway, for example, that's closed off. So just so many things, and people are like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to keep in touch with my friends, my family? So what are some ways that you still connect with people and still get human connection in all of this, in all that's going on? How do you satisfy that human need for connection?
So I guess I want to make a quick like not FYI, like so I already
Disclaimer.
I kind of live in a quarantine life, with kind of sorta way before this. What I mean is that like I live in a really small town, so I naturally don't really see a lot of people unless I go to work or I go to church. So
right.
School would be 5 days a week. Church would be once a week. But even in the midst of this coronavirus, and I probably see coworkers more than I don't see the church members anymore. But what I've been doing is definitely stay in contact with your friends and family. So, and this is the only means that we have, which is either video or call or something like that.
Right.
And just calling your friends and family, checking up on them, sending a text message. I want to thank everybody who's been contacting me and asking me if I'm doing okay. I really appreciate that. A lot of people were concerned, especially when the numbers were going up in Korea.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone who contacted me. So yeah, stay in contact with friends and family. And now you have a lot of time to kind of do some of the things you may have been postponing or that you've been putting aside, projects. I use the time to maybe work on my blog sometimes, to definitely check out my book.
Yes. I've been reading. I read a few articles. Yes.
Brand.com.
Yes.
The last name. So definitely working on some projects that you have been putting aside, getting fresh air. So definitely not stay locked down in your house 24 hours. Please go outside, get some vitamin D, get some fresh air in your lungs, because that's right. For your health.
Donna says, talk over the phone. Apple have FaceTime with multiple groups, texting, and social media. Yes.
I would also say, so in terms of your physical health, so I recently seen Carla, a member from our church, and just like a friend of mine, she was doing whole body workout in her building.
Yeah.
So shout out to Carla for her. Hey, Bianca.
Whoa.
So,
oh shoot.
She was doing a full body workout in her building.
Bike riding with your loved ones. I'm sorry, Naomi. I'm reading the comments.
Oh yes, that's a good idea.
Yes.
So I take walks after work, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then if I really am in the mood, I do a whole workout in my apartment with, unfortunately, Justin Bieber's new album.
Yo, Naomi, I saw you post on Facebook Justin Bieber's testimony, right? Was it Justin Bieber? Or was it right? I was like, since when was Naomi a fan of Justin Bieber? I was dying. I didn't check out the video. I'm gonna check it out now, but I was like looking at that post, questioning. I was dying. Oh my god.
Since he's been testifying of Christ recently,
right?
Gospel music.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the image that it brings to my head.
So he has an album called Changes, and you kind of see there's a change in who he is and his maturity level and things like that. Of course, his album is basically inspired by his wife, and so he's talking about his wife, not his girlfriend or anything. So takes on a different meaning for me. So Bianca, what we're talking about is socializing in connecting in the midst of social distancing, and some of the things that we could do while we aren't able to get in large groups and meet with people. I just work out for maybe 45 minutes in my apartment. I got Bieber album playing,
So it's so I haven't heard the album. So it's more workout music, hype, excited workout music, or does he have slow songs, love songs? Since he said it is for his wife, or inspired by his wife.
It's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of
Okay.
his, I guess, certain emotions he is expressing to her, and the nature of relationships. Whether it's missing that person, whether it's needing space from that person, whether it's
Okay.
that person understanding that you're changing, as a person and things like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I feel like I was already living the quarantine life even before this whole thing happened. Like, I feel like other than going to the movie theaters, like, I don't feel like my life, and getting my nails done occasionally, like, I don't feel like my life has changed that much. Like, I the only reason my head is tied is because I was supposed to go do my hair on Monday, but it was like something happened with the lady who was supposed to do my hair, so she wasn't available. But other than that, I would have gone to get my hair done, and it would not have been a problem. Like, I would have been up in there with everybody doing my hair. So I feel like I was never really a gym person, so that's not my thing. So yeah, I feel like my life has pretty much remained the same, and I'm just like being more intentional about calling friends and family rather than texting them. So like just hey, that's Youngsley. Yeah, I feel what's up.
Oh, hey, Tiffany. So I guess for the people coming online, the people who are watching now, we have 11 people watching. So how has your life changed since this coronavirus? Where are you from? Where do you live? And how has life been changing for you? We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. Oh, and the big one, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been, feeling like, they're losing their church support.
I'm sorry to hear that trips are getting canceled. Yes, Brooklyn in the house.
Oh yeah, concerts are getting canceled. Brooklyn and Korea. Gotta represent Korea. Hey, that's my other coworker friend. My friend. Yo, my coworkers are supporting. Oh my God, I love this. Oh my God, thank you guys for the love. I appreciate it. But so the only thing I would say, like the big thing for me is, so I did have to, because I see a therapist, right? And I would go to her office, but because of this, now we're doing therapy over the phone. So that has changed. But the other thing that has not changed is that, like, I have, I'm going to be honest and say that I haven't been regularly attending church on No.
Wait.
She said, I just realized that. Nah. I think you came in and you left. I remember seeing your name earlier. But so what I was gonna say is that, like,
we have one person who works in a hospital.
Yeah. So that means they have to go to work. They have to attend work.
Are you protecting yourself? How are you protecting yourself from the virus? The person that works at the hospital. No, I don't go to church. Whoever wrote that.
Youngsley, no. I think he's addressing me. No, I do not go to church. And the fact that churches are closing has not changed that, because I have been waking up at noon, enjoying my Sabbath rest, and yeah, like watching sermons online, and that's pretty much been my Sabbath. But the only thing the only times that I would attend church services, like those of you who know, like I'm part of the Federation. Facts. The only like if there's a Federation event, then I will go to a Federation event. But other than that, I stay home. So the person who works in a hospital, they said goggles, face mask, and a gown.
That's good. I'm really happy to hear that hospitals are considering the health of their medical workers, because they're on the front lines. So we need them to be healthy so they can take care of the sick. People, you have to understand that this is a airborne respiratory disease. So being close to other people and you're speaking, spit comes out of people's mouths. You might sneeze, you might cough, and you have no idea. You could be perfectly healthy, but that person beside you, you don't know what their health is like. If their immune system is a little weak. So we distance ourselves from those people for the safety of humanity. So though the church doors are closed, I think that people should be contacting the elderly in their church, finding out how they're doing.
Yep.
Know what can help them, their health, what can help them health-wise, what they should do. God forbid they get a fever. God forbid start showing symptoms of something. This is not the time to be saying, oh, the church, you should take care of your people that could potentially be sick. You don't know.
That's right. My coworker, she said, even my church is closed and I'm Catholic. Yo, that's funny. Because the Catholic Church is so notorious for being open all the time.
We are sorry about that, guys.
No! Oh my gosh. Thank you, Stefan, for coming.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we appreciate it.
Yo, the love is real. The love is real. Thank you guys for coming back. So Instagram apparently has a 1-hour limit on the live. Yeah, right, Donna? Yes. Yes. They are how dare they? So we're gonna I guess we were kind of almost done. We were close to the end, but yeah, we can't go over an hour after this. But where were we? We were talking about ways that we can stay connected, right? Ways that people are staying connected. Step by step, exactly. Right? Hey, Tamara. So I just really want everyone to be safe. At the same time, while we should, be cautious, we should not be so unconcerned and just feeling, it's the issue, because it is. But we should still be somewhere in the middle. I saw some a friend on his Instagram story. He was because the gyms are closed, they're going to the park. He and his guy friends are going to the park, and because some parks have those kind of gym equipment for the guys, and so they're just working out in the park, and I'm see, that's amazing. Being creative and doing stuff like that, still being able to hang out with your friends, just still being safe, So I thought that was amazing. I thought that was incredible. Yeah.
I think that at this time, one of the things that we should be doing is not allowing the fear overtake you. So this is a little scary, especially if you've never experienced something like this before. But I encourage you, some of the scriptures that I've been some of the scriptures I've been using to kind of keep me, I would say, hopeful and just fearless, is reading Psalms 91, praying for that plague to go another way. What else? Psalms 103, and praying that God keeps all diseases away from. Joshua 1, first chapter of Joshua, asking God for, you want to be courageous at this time and not allow fear to overtake you and cripple you. And also keep yourself, informed and look and see. Yes, Psalm 91 verse 10. Amen.
What does that say? What does that verse say?
Someone mentioned Psalm 91. Psalm 91 says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee. Psalm 91 verse 10 says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Yes.
Read that scripture over your apartment.
Over and over, yeah.
Say, and to be encouraged.
Yep. So true. So true.
And what else? This other one, Psalms 103 verse, 1 second. Psalms 103 verse 3. It says that, they're talking about God, who forgiveth all thine iniquity, who healeth all thy diseases.
All thy diseases. That's right. That's right.
This is
Speak
the cure.
the word.
Cure.
Huh?
This is the cure, but still wash your hands.
Yes. The Bible is medicine. The Bible is medicine. That's right. I totally agree. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. I offer that verse to you guys. It's Philippians, but you guys can find where it is. I'm not sure exactly the verse, but yep, Philippians. Yeah. So, yeah, it's real. Like, don't take it lightly. But also, yes.
Yeah, Philippians 4 verse 6, 7.
Yeah. Be cautious. Like I said, don't take it lightly. But also remember, we're Christians. We believe in God. Like, He promises to keep us safe. He promises to keep us safe from harm. Like, just trust God. Trust God through all of this. Yeah. And this is us, like, staying connected. Like, honestly, I think we have been practicing connecting in social distancing, like, since you left the United States. Like, I feel like, we were intentional about staying in touch, texting each other. Like, at one point when I was having issues, like, with, planning FH events, like, I reached out to you and we spoke on the phone, and now this, like, I just feel like, this is an example of us, like, staying, practicing staying connected. So, yeah. Thanks, Naomi.
No problem. Did we cover everything? I feel like we talked about a lot of different.
Anyone
in the comments that have, oh, my cousin, hi, Gertie. I don't know if anyone watching has questions for us. As you know, Korea, do you have any questions? Do you want to know what's going on? How things are doing right now? Feel free to comment below. We're happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions? I feel like we did talk about a lot. Some people feel like the military should get involved. I don't know. Is it that, like, getting medical supplies to the hospitals, getting the tests quicker, because they're not getting the test as fast as they should, things like that, like food for the most vulnerable. I don't know, but
I think Marlo in was sharing that there were lunches that were being shared. There are lunches that's being distributed to in different schools to students. So there are. So there's a lot of things that people are doing. It's just about getting the word out for people to know about that. I would definitely say that we also need to pray. we need to pray, because one of the situations happening in the U.S. I've been reading about is like there, because there was a huge urgency for certain things, ventilators and masks mainly, test kits and things like that. We need, we need those things, but they don't just appear in one day. Like, they have to be made, they have to be shipped, and all things.
Exactly.
So, we need to pray and ask God for a miracle, and ask God to really come through. And I mean, He's always been coming through.
Yeah, that's right.
We need God to really like help us in this situation, because we need to test more people. We need to see, what state we're in right now. So that's one of the situations we have to.
For sure. We do need to pray.
Yeah.
Pray for the kids who are stuck at home. Like, I know a lot of families have been posting about how they're becoming closer to their families during this time, but we know that there are some families who are not as healthy, not as safe, and so those kids who are staying at home, like, they're probably miserable right now, and we just have to pray for them, because a lot of them might be in physical danger. Maybe emotionally, they're just feeling, just a whole host of issues that could be happening at home. So praying for those kids,
Yes. Oh, now you have another layer of stress on parents.
Yeah.
Parents want to go to work, they aren't able to, make any money, and they have bills to pay.
Right.
So also another layer of stress that people are going to start feeling and experiencing, and so we really have to keep people in prayer, keep the world in prayer, so that this time that's going to pass, it will pass, and that we don't allow it to really crush us and ruin our relationships that we have with our families and stuff like that. Yeah.
For sure. And I think the U.S. is going to learn a lot from this experience. And in the future, like, if this were ever to happen again, God forbid, like, we'll be more prepared. We'll definitely be more prepared.
For sure. We probably will start wrapping up soon. So once again, if you have any questions for us, if you have comments to make, we would love to share it with the people watching. Yeah. Did you have any more questions, Jude?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I had any more questions. Maybe, like, why do you think the toilet paper is like the number one thing being overstocked? Like, out of stock, I mean. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
1 second.
Yeah.
So just recently at my job, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was kind of laughing about the situation, because I just didn't understand why tissue paper shortage versus other maybe more
necessary products.
But I mean, I read some really funny comments about that. I read something maybe on YouTube or something. Somebody wrote, I guess people are having, like, because of what's going on, it's either give people like some bowel movement.
That is crazy.
Causing some crazy bowel movement situations. So people need more tissue paper to deal with it.
Right.
But
that, I don't know.
Definitely the lack of direction from leadership and from the government.
Yes.
It kind of, because you don't know what to do. So it somehow became the whole toilet paper thing. But I think now, maybe because the situation is getting really serious, I think that maybe people will be directed to either purchase certain things that they need, and that's a necessity. But at the same time, I guess different countries are vary with what they will kind of start buying, because some countries have lockdowns and some don't. And so when you have a situation where it's a lockdown and you can't go outside at all, like, you'll shopping and things like that, then you kind of need to stock up on certain things. But
what countries have lockdowns?
Sorry?
What countries have lockdowns that you know about?
I'm not sure what's happening in California, or if they have like everyone must be quarantined, or if it's a lockdown. But there are some places that I think maybe China they may have had that, but some places are resorting to complete lockdown to kind of prevent people from just being outside in general. So it depends on what the government chooses to do. But one of the resorting to I heard recently is that people are using this opportunity to make profit in terms of like buying everything out, like for twice the price, 3 times the price, and it's like instead of us working for each other so that we all stay alive, it's like some people are getting really greedy and just like hoarding things, and it's really not the end.
That's right. Oh, okay, so Italy and China. Yes, for sure, Italy. Yeah, I've been hearing so much about what's going on in Italy, and they're saying like the bodies are piling up to the point that they're just sending them off to get cremated. So because it's just so many people dying every day. So yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. It's crazy. If I hope, I would pray that other countries do not get it as bad as Italy. Like I feel so bad for Italy right now. But I'm hearing it's because like they have a high population of elderly people and a high population of people with those preconditions.
Oh, no.
So it's just sad. It's really, really sad.
We need to keep in our prayers. We need to really really look out for our elderly population and make sure that they're doing the right things, and especially sometimes when you have sometimes in the immigrant population. So we're gonna be real here. So our parents, are not came here from a country living in the United States, and so sometimes you have a population of people who don't even know what's going on, or they're being misinformed about what's going on. I seen a video in Hindi, and they were asking people about the coronavirus, and people had some really weird things to say, or the beliefs of what they had about the virus. It was very not ignorant, but it's you don't really know what's happening, so you don't know how to protect yourself when you're misinformed. And so we really have to look out for immigrant population, or the elderly population who may not even speak English. Or that they are aware of what's happening and how to protect themselves.
That's right.
I think the worst thing to happen is people deal with either pass away or some really crazy situation because they didn't know, versus I just happened to, this was bad luck and something happened, versus you didn't know and you just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah,
we want to prevent that from happening.
Donna asks, are you giving into the conspiracy theories? We answered that question before, and both Naomi and I was like, no. No, not at all. I looked up the 5G. People were saying it's caused by the 5G cell network. Wow. I don't know how, that's a stretch. That's such a stretch.
Fastest internet networks apparently in the world. And I think that there's a difference between how people are understanding this virus around the world. I feel like there's an American perspective of it, and then there's Asian perspective of it, and then I feel like the European, perhaps a European perspective of this virus. And it's for us here in Asia, because there's been previous diseases like this, it's here's another one. How do we handle it? That's all we're doing. We're not. There's no conspiracy theory. There's no government trying to kill people.
Yes.
The highest elderly population. Many people aren't even having children anymore because the economy is very hard. It costs a lot of money to take care of children. So people have less and less children, and you have a huge elderly population. And yet, the numbers are going down of infected people, and there are more people getting well and getting better because of the quick action they've been taking. So
Exactly.
I don't see a conspiracy theory here. I just see a government taking responsibility, being proactive, trying to save their people. That's what I see.
Right. And so that's one. And so the other one with the, mark of the beast. So like, I'm sure they are 7-day Adventists, like the church that you go to, the SDAs. Like, do you hear them saying that? That this is a sign of the end?
Here's 1/3 Christian, and there are many Adventist churches here. And I think in Seoul, the church I visited times, they canceled church services and just said, because of the light of what's happening, we won't meet, and we all believe this is for a short time. This is
wow.
Just this too shall pass. We just can't meet because we don't want to spread the virus even more. And the churches that do, I want to say this for the churches. Unfortunately, I feel like
I'm sorry, Naomi.
Yeah.
Man. The mark of the beast is the vaccine that's coming. The vaccine they're going to give us against the virus.
But okay. No, there is no conversation about people getting vaccinated here in Korea. At least I haven't heard anything about it. What I will say, I was going to say something.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you. No, but you were saying like how in the city that the churches are saying that it's for a short time. Like, they're going to come back eventually, so it's not like it's the end of the world.
Right. So you have to understand, the government isn't telling you need to denounce Christ. The government isn't telling you need to worship on a certain day. They're just telling you to stay home so that you can spread the virus. And what I was going to say was there were 2 churches in Korea who met and caused a huge cluster of infections. And so you have a lot of people who are kind of talking bad about Christianity and coming at the church. And I felt really bad because those people who decided to meet, and one of them apparently is a cult where they sit down and they have weird rituals. One of the churches was salt water in people's mouth.
Wow.
Pure, and they use the same spray on everybody, so they end up getting the virus or getting positive virus. And it's like, we're not telling you not to believe in Christ.
Right.
To stay home.
Exactly.
Christ.
Exactly.
And people are just in trouble with this idea of, oh my gosh, I can't be in a building with these people. But at the same time, it really made me sad because I don't want people to think that Christians are ignorant, and don't know how to follow directions, care about the health of the nation. It's just those particular people who didn't listen. It's not that is careless and doesn't love and things like that.
Exactly. And I think the same thing is happening here as far as like the world looking at Christians and like looking at us like, are you okay? Because the things that we're saying, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some pastors when we come back that's gonna be like, guys, get ready and prepare for the end, and it's just gonna be like, no, that's not it at all. It's a public health issue. It's not in some ways, maybe it might be a spiritual issue, right? Like, because God sends diseases, but He also heals them. So I'm just like, we have to really take this into perspective. Like, keep our perspective, because we can't be on the extreme side, especially as Christians. Like, people expect Christians to go to the extreme, and we just really we can't do that.
Yeah, I think I had written on somebody's Facebook comment or post and said something like, my church, where we have members who are 90 years old. Like
Wow.
90 years old,
Wow.
they're walking by themselves and they're healthy. So Korea also has like they're one of the countries that has like the highest centennials. So people live really long. Population. And yet the worst thing to happen is people.
I hope I would
just certain things that they need, and that's a
threat. So, and to them, special danger needs special precaution. Number two, so right.
And so when you have a situation where it's a lockdown and you can't go outside at all, like go shopping and things like that, then you kind of need to stock up on certain things.
But what countries have lockdowns?
Sorry?
What countries have lockdowns that you know about?
I'm not sure what's happening in California, or if they have like everyone must be quarantined, or if it's a lockdown. But there are some places that I think maybe China they may have had that, but some places are resorting to complete lockdown to kind of prevent people from just being outside in general. So it depends on what the government chooses to do. But one of the sad things that I heard recently is that people are using this opportunity to make profit in terms of like buying everything out, like for twice the price, 3 times the price, and it's like instead of us working together with each other so that we all stay alive, it's like some people are getting really greedy and just like hoarding things, and it's really not the end.
That's right. Oh, okay, so yeah, Italy and China. Yes, for sure, Italy. Yeah, I've been hearing so much about what's going on in Italy, and they're saying like the bodies are piling up to the point that they're just sending them off to get cremated. So because it's just so many people dying every day. So yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. It's crazy. If I hope, I would pray that other countries do not get it as bad as Italy. Like I feel so bad for Italy right now, but I'm hearing it's because like they have a high population of elderly people and a high population of people with those preconditions.
Oh, no.
So it's just sad. It's really, really sad.
We need to keep in our prayers. We need to really really look out for our elderly population and make sure that they're doing the right things, and especially sometimes when you have sometimes in the immigrant population. So we're gonna be real here. So our parents, are not came here from their country living in the United States, and so sometimes you have a population of people who don't even know what's going on, or they're being misinformed about what's going on. I see a video in Haiti, and they were asking people about the coronavirus, and people had some really weird things to say, or the beliefs of what they had about the virus. It was very not ignorant, but it's you don't really know what's happening, so you don't know how to protect yourself when you're misinformed. And so we really have to look out for immigrant population, or the elderly population who may not even speak English. So that they are aware of what's happening and how to protect themselves.
That's right.
I think the worst thing to happen is people deal with either pass away or some really crazy situation because they didn't know, versus I just happened to, this was bad luck and something happened, versus you didn't know and you just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
We want to prevent that from happening.
Donna asks, are you giving into the conspiracy theories? We answered that question before, and both Naomi and I was like, no. No, not at all. I looked up the 5G. People were saying it's caused by the 5G cell network. Wow. I don't know how, that's a stretch. That's such a stretch.
Fastest internet networks apparently in the world. And I think that there's a difference between how people are understanding this virus around the world. I feel like there's an American perspective of it, and then there's Asian perspective of it, and then I feel like
the European,
perhaps a European perspective of this virus, and it's like for us here in Asia, because there've been previous diseases like this, it's like here's another one. How do we handle it better? That's all we're doing. You know, we're not. There's no conspiracy theory. There's no government trying to kill people.
yes,
The highest elderly population in Korea. Many people aren't even having children anymore because the economy is very hard. It costs a lot of money to take care of children. So people have less and less children, and you have a huge elderly population. And yet, you know, the numbers are going down of infected people, and there are more people getting well and getting better because of the quick action they've been taking. So
exactly.
I don't see a conspiracy theory here. I just see a government taking responsibility, being proactive, trying to save their people. That's what I see.
Right. And so that's one. And so the other one with the, mark of the beast. So like, I'm sure they are Seventh-day Adventists, like the church that you go to, the SDAs. Like, do you hear them saying that? That this is a sign of the end?
Here's 1/3 Christian, and there are many Adventist churches here. And I think in Seoul, the church I visited times, they canceled church services and just said, because of in light of what's happening, we won't meet, and we all believe this is for a short time. This is
wow.
just this too shall pass. We just can't meet because we don't want to spread the virus even more. And the churches that do, I want to say this for the churches. Unfortunately, I feel like
I'm sorry, Naomi.
Yeah.
Comment. The mark of the beast is the vaccine that's coming. The vaccine they're going to give us against the virus.
But okay. No, there is no conversation about people getting vaccinated here in Korea. At least I haven't heard anything about it. What I will say, I was going to say something.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you. No, but you were saying like how in the city that the churches are saying that it's for a short time. Like, they're going to come back eventually, so it's not like it's the end of the world.
Right. So you have to understand, the government isn't telling you need to denounce Christ. The government isn't telling you need to worship on a certain day. They're just telling you to stay home so that you spread the virus. And what I was going to say was there were 2 churches in Korea who met and caused a huge cluster of infections. And so you have a lot of people who are kind of talking bad about Christianity and coming at the church. And I felt really bad because those people who decided to meet, and one of them apparently is a cult where they sit down and they have weird rituals. One of the churches was salt water in people's mouth.
Wow.
Pure, and they use the same spray on everybody, so they end up getting the virus or getting positive virus. And it's like, we're not telling you not to believe in Christ.
Right.
To stay home.
Exactly.
Christ.
Exactly.
And people are just in trouble with this idea of, oh my gosh, I can't be in a building with these people. But at the same time, it really made me sad because I don't want people to think that Christians are ignorant, and don't know how to follow directions, care about the health of the nation. It's just those particular people who didn't listen. It's not that is careless and doesn't love and things like that.
Exactly. And I think the same thing is happening here as far as like the world looking at Christians and like looking at us like, are you okay? Because the things that we're saying, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some pastors when we come back that's going to be like, guys, get ready and, prepare for the end. And it's just going to be like, no, that's not it at all. It's a public health issue. You know, it's not, in some ways, maybe it might be a spiritual issue, right? Like, because, I mean, God sends diseases, you know, but he also heals them. So I'm just like, we have to really take this into perspective. Like, keep our perspective, because we can't be on the extreme side, especially as Christians. Like, people expect Christians to go to the extreme, and we just really we can't do that.
Yeah, I think I had written on somebody's Facebook comment or post and said something like, like my church, where we have members who are 90 years old, like,
Wow.
90 years old. They're walking by themselves and they're healthy. So Korea also has, like, they're one of the countries that has, like, the highest centennials. So people live really long. So, we care about we care about
Elderly, yeah. No, think of it.
So we still check up on them even though they're not in a physical church. So we just have to, we have to be very mindful. Like, this is a time where you can evangelize in such a thoughtful way, and it has to do with coming in that building. It's if church is just coming to a building, and without the building there's no connection, we really have to think about who we are. If we are not connecting with each other outside of the building of church, we have to reconsider who we are.
Wow.
If you're not connected, you're not, on each other, calling each other, loving on each other, and providing resources helpful, then we're not as
That's right. Wow. That's deep. That is so deep. Yeah, because the church is not the building. We are the church.
Right.
We are the church. And I think this could possibly be a test of our Christianity. Like, let's see, what are you doing for those less fortunate, those who can't go to the grocery store, those, who can't leave their house, who are being quarantined, who need their medicine? Like, what are you doing for them?
Right.
Or are you just so self-absorbed and just being selfish? Like, this is a true test of what's truly in our hearts, A lot of people are saying, like, oh, this is going to be a test of your faith if you truly believe in God. But God, I feel like he looks at our hearts based on how we treat other people. Like, that's how he sees, like, our genuineness, like, our love. Yeah, like, we're called to love God, but, like, we're called to love people. And, like, that's what Jesus did. Like, Jesus ministered to people.
Right.
And, this is definitely going to be a test. And, I recently visited a friend of mine who had a baby in January. She's not SDA. We met in college. And I asked her, I was like, are you sure you want me to come over? Like, with the baby, I might be, people may have the virus and are not exhibiting symptoms. She was like, girl, come over. I brought her food. And it was just like, and we just hung out. We literally just hung out and on her couch, and I got to see the baby.
Okay.
Oh, and it was like, it was just the best. Like, human contact, like, is so necessary. But the feeling of just helping her and being there for her, like, bringing the food over to her, knowing that she, like, needed groceries, it was like the best feeling. So, yeah.
I think that one of the things that Jesus did was he always met the needs of people. So
yeah.
So
like
he evangelized, and he would find a moment to share the gospel of Christ. But before he shared the gospel of Jesus Christ, Jesus helped them in a way that they needed help. So, like, right now, there are people who need help in various ways. I can't name them all, but like I was mentioning with my church, what they did, they made masks, because that is the need at the moment in Korea, masks. Exactly. And so I guess as Christians, we need to think about what does our church need. So you can minister to your church and the community. So what do we need right now? What the elderly population needs? What are resources? Are people checking up on them? What are resources that would be helpful to parents who have a whole bunch of kids at home driving?
Yes. Yes.
You know, maybe they're not learning anything right now. How can we help? We recommend that they buy workbooks and order workbooks from Amazon.
Yeah.
Workbooks so that they can stay, get their brain juices moving while they're at home.
Yeah.
There's some thoughtful things we could do instead of,
Yeah. There's so many needs, from education to health to safety. It's just, there's so many needs, and technology. Like we're talking about churches using their young adults and using the young people to assist them with technology and how we can get church to the people during this time. I know my mom right now, she and the tenant downstairs, they're like planning to meet together tomorrow morning for Sabbath. Yeah. So but that's something that they've done, like even on snow days when we would have snow days, and the church was closed, we would do that, just everyone just in the house, just come upstairs and we're gonna have a service together. So that's what they're doing to church at home, right? So it's just so many needs, and you just have to you can ask, but you can also just volunteer your help. Yeah.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah. So, man, there's so many gems that we just dropped. And if you have, Naomi, do you have any last words that you would like to share or give the people on the live?
Yes. So we're broadcasting live from. So before I guess my followers, I want to thank you all for joining us here on the Instagram live. Really appreciate just you saying hello, just you joining, listening to us, asking questions, sharing your comments. We really appreciate it. We want to thank you for connecting with us in the midst of this social. Yes. We don't need to disconnect ourselves during this time. So my few words, stay encouraged in the word. Yes. I understand, this is a very stressful time. I get stressed out time being here, by myself, in this foreign country. I've had many, little episodes, but this book this Holy Bible got through. That's listening to some motivating things on YouTube. Definitely stay encouraged and don't allow yourself. Wait. Oh, things slow.
It froze. Happened. Okay. Your volume, Naomi. I can't hear.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
I don't feel it. I don't
leave you guys. Oh.
I don't want to leave either. This is so much fun. Guys, okay, we're going to pray and we're going to end. Okay, Instagram has basically given us 2 chances. So we're gonna pray.
We didn't hear what you're fine. I mean, I was trying to say something, but I was talking.
Well, I'll make it quick. My last words are basically, guys, stay safe, practice precaution, trust God, and stay connected as much as possible with your family and friends. I know in this age of social media, we think we're connecting when we're on Instagram and when we're on Facebook, but this time has shown us what true connection is, and that's what we ought to practice as Christians, that true human connection. So I want to encourage you guys to talk more on the phone, less texting, with your friends as much much as possible. Maybe like do video chats with them, do things like that. But yeah, just get as much human connection as possible and continue to trust God.
Yeah, no, I agree. So what Judy said, and yes, stay prayed up. Go to your immune system and check up on your friends and family, and this too shall pass. And we just listen to what, as long as nothing is conflicting your beliefs, your personal, your spiritual beliefs, your personal beliefs, just adhere to the instructions that's being given. Stay
exactly
home.
Yep.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands, guys. Wash your hands. 6 feet. 6 feet.
Away from your eyes and your nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But thank you guys for chatting with us and for being here. So we're going to end with a word of prayer. And since Naomi started, I'm going to end.
I don't
All right.
Okay.
Huh?
No, I'm like,
what happened?
And I'm like, I don't want to leave you guys.
I don't want to leave either. I wish we could stay forever, but we can't. What? Yo, Naomi, okay, you know what, guys? If you want us to be here next week, Friday and Saturday for Naomi, what can they do? Like, comment on our post. So where we posted the flyers, so comment on under the post if you want us to, like, do this, like, every Sabbath. And we can make it a thing.
Coronavirus and
Naomi, you are too funny. Oh my god. Yo, Naomi cracks me up. Okay. So yes, guys, if you want us to yay! Every Friday, yes. Oh my god, we could totally do this. And like we can share updates and connect with you guys. It could be so much fun.
Do you guys need us to start singing hymns and psalms or something?
No, we don't need to do all that.
Okay.
Just prayer and, Bible verses. Maybe we could turn it into like a Bible study. Who knows?
Oh, really
Yeah.
quick? Right? And I just want to mention that there is a book in the Bible that's kind of similar to something like we're experiencing now, the book of Daniel. So the book of Daniel, is about a Hebrew boy who's now in a new place, country, and culture, and all these things, and different types of leaderships and things that you're asking to do. Sort of like what we're experiencing right now. That could be something we look at.
Yeah, that could be. All right, guys, we're gonna end. Bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for this opportunity to connect with one another through a live and the ability to talk to one another. Thank you for Naomi for keeping her safe in South Korea and keeping her church members safe. Just want to thank you for, in the midst of everything that's going on, for just protecting your sheep, protecting your flock, protecting your church. Lord God, as people are trying to navigate through life, navigate through the changes with school, with work, with business, with their health, Lord God, I ask that you please give us peace, Lord God. We need peace just so much right now. And God, I ask that you just cover us, guard our hearts, guard us from fear, guard us from anxiety. Help us to stay in your word. Help us to trust you, Lord Father God, and help us not to give in to the panic. Lord God, be with us, be our guide. And as we are in the Sabbath, Lord God, and we are home, Lord God, help us to keep the Sabbath holy, Lord Father God. Help us so that we really stay true to the meaning of the Sabbath, Lord God. And Lord, help us to also stay connected with you. Guide us and protect us throughout the rest of this weekend and throughout next week, Lord God. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Bye, guys. This was fun. I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye, Naomi. Well,
I'll greet you all in the greeting with or
what's that?
say goodbye like this too. So
like that?
well, not like this. Well, in Korea, when we see each other, when we greet someone, and even when we're leaving, you just do a slight bow and you bring your head down. Hey, 안녕하세요. Like that.
안녕하세요. Well, actually, it's morning for Naomi. So good morning, Naomi.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. Have a nice day. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Hopefully. Bon sabbat. Bye.
Bye.